Hey, what's up, everybody? Um, Thank you for joining the Monday Boost. I'm just going to give about a minute while I decide what I want to talk about today. So I'll just give maybe 45 seconds and then I will dive in. Maybe more like a minute. All right. I don't know if you guys heard that music or not. I forgot I was streaming through my AirPods. Um, Two things that was on my mind. One thing was the part of the text that I preached yesterday from 2 Samuel chapter 6, when Uzzah reached for the stumbling ox cart and died. I thought about doing that, but instead I'm going to go to a simpler one, or at least a simpler, more practical, well, maybe not as practical, maybe no more practical than what I'm wanted to talk about, but I'm going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 20, and I'm really pointing out verse 4. 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 4, and it says, from the New Living Translation, "Tell me what I can do to help you," Jonathan exclaimed. That's it. "Tell me what I can do to help you," Jonathan exclaimed. And I guess I just want to talk about what it means to be a friend. In this text, if you're not familiar with it, we know that we all know, well, I'm assuming that we know, but we may not, that David was an enemy of Saul. Saul wanted to kill David, and David had a unique, genuine friendship with Jonathan. And Jonathan is Saul's son. And so David was trying to convince Jonathan that his father wanted him dead. And so we see this interaction between them. And in the first few verses, David is saying to Jonathan, "What did I do? Why does your father want to kill me?" And just really emotionally venting to his friend, who is actually the son of the one who wants to kill him. He's like, "What did I do? What did I do to deserve this? Why did your dad want to kill me? Oh my goodness," just venting like a friend. And Jonathan came back and was trying to say, "No, that's not it. That's not true. You're not going to die." And that's what it says. If you read in verse 2, he says, "That's not true." Jonathan protests, "You're not going to die. He always tells me everything going on. My dad always talks to me. My dad never said anything about this." So he's trying to convince him that he's not going to die. But David is still convinced of his gripe, his complaint, as he's venting to his friend. And one of the things that I noticed about Jonathan is that Jonathan then just asked a question to David. And that's what I find as kind of a model of what a great friend is. Jonathan says in his text, "Tell me what I could do to help you." And I loved that, because even though at the time Jonathan did not agree with David, he did not try to force his opinion on David. He did not say, "Oh, David, you're crazy. That's ridiculous. You're overreacting," or anything like that. But Jonathan was sensitive to the feelings of his friend. And I think that's one thing that makes a great friend, is to be sensitive to how your friend is feeling. And that's what I see Jonathan doing. He's sensitive because he's acknowledging that even though Jonathan doesn't think it's so, okay, this is what you believe, so let me help you with what you're believing. And he asks him the question, he says, what can I do to help you? That's not Jonathan telling David what to do. A lot of times we try to force opinions on our friends. We try to give them a solution to their problem. And perhaps maybe your friend just wants to vent. Maybe your friend doesn't want a solution. Maybe your friend wants to get the situation off his or her chest or mind, and is just talking to you as a friend. And so I think we could learn from Jonathan and not be so um, insistent on fixing problems, on saying this is what you should do, or if I was you, I would do this. But I see Jonathan first being sensitive to the friend, listening to the friend's gripe or complaint, and then presenting himself as an aid to his friend David, and saying an aid by saying, what can I, your friend, do to help you with this matter? Okay, because again, uh, uh, sensitive to their friend, listening, and then offering the help that the friend needs from the other friend. Okay, and I think that's where many probably, and I'm not saying that no one has good friends and things like that, but what I'm trying to implement in my own life is to be a friend to someone else the way Jonathan was, to listen, to be compassionate towards them, and to say, hey, what do you need from me to help you with what you're going through? Okay, because again, your friend may not want help. Your friend may just want to talk. And we know David came up with a solution. He was like, I've always eaten with the king. Tomorrow there's going to be a festival, and I usually sit right next to the king. Tell when the king asks where I am, say this. Okay, so he let Jonathan know what he needed from him. Okay, but it started with Jonathan presenting himself as a compassionate, understanding, listening friend who was willing to help in whatever way. And I believe as believers, we can probably work harder at this, holding our opinions when the matter calls for it, and asking your friend, what do you need from me to help you? Okay, and so I just think Jonathan and David have a great biblical illustration or biblical blueprint to what it means to be a good friend. And so if you have time, read over 1 Samuel chapter 20, verses 1 through 42, and you'll see how it unfolds and how Jonathan was loyal to his friend David, even if it meant going against his own father. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's a boost. I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent with how I do these Monday boosts. I'm going to try not to be so long, but try to keep it at about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes, and just try to share what I'm reading. And that's what Monday Boost is about. It's just me reading and reflecting off of what I've read, because, you know, we are to read the word, but we are also supposed to meditate on the word. That means we're supposed to think about it. We're supposed to wrestle with it. It doesn't just mean I obtain knowledge and understanding. I heard one of my preacher friends preach this yesterday, and he said that it's not enough to just memorize scripture. You have to meditate on it and think on it. And so that's what Monday Boost is for me. Sometimes I will give another approach or thought to a sermon that I preached the previous day, but then sometimes through my daily reading, and I haven't been as good as that at that as I would like to be. But I'm starting today. I'm going to continue this, just reflecting on what I've read and what I am meditating on based on what I read. And so today it was about friendship, how I can be a better friend to those who are in my inner circle and consider me a friend. So again, 1 Samuel chapter 20, verses 1 through 42. Tomorrow morning, we will have prayer at 6:15 a.m. We hope you join us by way of Facebook Live and YouTube. Also on Wednesday, our Bible study, I think we're going to be in Hebrews chapter 7. We're pushing through the book of Hebrews. Thursday, I'll be preaching at Brookins Kirkland at 7 o'clock. I think that's going to be on Brookins Kirkland's Zoom and live stream. I'm not sure if they live stream or not, but I know it'll be on their Zoom. You can check the church Facebook page for that information. And then Saturday, I'm also on a panel for the Sons of Allen in the California Conference, and I'll be preaching after the panel. So it's a busy week, but we hope you are able to engage with us from a virtual perspective and enjoy the spiritual encouragement that we're trying to offer either at Allen Chapel. So again, tomorrow morning, 6:15 a.m. We'll see you then. God bless.